Alright, let's differentiate 4x raised to the power of 3 minus 2x plus the square root of x. So I'm going to rewrite this equation before we start to solve it as y is equals to 4x raised to the power of 3 minus 2x plus, I want to write the square root of x. We can make use of our calculator to check this. If the square root of 64 is 8, we have another way of writing the square root of 64. That could be written as 64 raised to the power of half, and that will give us 8 as well. So to calculate the square root of any number, you can write the number raised to the power of 12. That will simply give you the square root of the number. So now I can rewrite the square root of x as x raised to the power of half. That simply means the square root of x. So let's move on. Now I'm going to factorize, I'm going to differentiate this. To differentiate, you're going to multiply the power by the coefficient. And if you look at this properly, this x here is having a coefficient, but it's not obvious. The coefficient is 1. So let's move on. The power here is 3 multiplied by 4. That gives us 12. I'm having the x. Then I'm going to take away 1 from the power. That is 3 minus 1. This one is also having a power here. The power is 1. So 1 multiplied by minus 2 will give us minus 2. I'm having x. Then I'm going to take away 1 from the power, that is 1 before, plus, if I multiply half and plus 1, I'm going to have plus half x. From this half, I'm going to take away 1. So to differentiate, you have to take away 1 from the power after multiplying the power and the coefficient. So let's move on. This is denoted by dy dx, dy dx. So let's move on. That will be 12x raised to the power of 2 minus 2x raised to the power of 0 plus half raised to the power of minus half. You should know that half minus 1 is minus half. And finally, we're going to have a final answer as 12x raised to the power of 2 minus x raised to the power 0 is 1. So that is 2 multiplied by 1. Don't forget, minus 2x means minus 2 times x. So that simply means we're having something like this: minus 2 times x raised to the power 0 is what? Is 1. And that will still give us minus 2. So that will be minus 2. Then we move on, plus half x raised to the power of minus half. As simple as that. Okay, if we look at this second question here, this is also a question on differentiation. F of x equals to the cube root of x plus 5 all over x raised to the power of 4. Calculate. That simply means we should what? We should differentiate, or we can say we have to find the first derivative. If you are to find the second derivative, it will be written this way. So we are still going to look into that in our subsequent videos. So now let me write all these functions as, to write the cube root. Don't forget, we told us earlier that for us to write the square root of a number, we can write it as x raised to the power of half. So to write the cube root of a number, we can write that as x raised to the power of 1 over 3. You can always confirm this with your calculator. If you have 8 raised to the power of 1 over 3, your answer will be 2. That simply means you have found the cube root of 8. So you can confirm that with your calculator. So let's move on. I can write this as x raised to the power of 1 over 3 plus what we have here can be written as 5 multiplied by 1 all over x raised to the power of 4. And based on the law of indices, I can rewrite this to have a negative power. That simply means 5 multiplied by x raised to the power of minus 4. So everything we have here can be written as x raised to the power minus 4 based on the law of indices, negative power. So that will lead us to 5x raised to the power of minus 4. So let's move on. So this question we have here has been simplified into this, and we can easily solve this now. So let's proceed. Don't forget, this is having a coefficient which is 1. So to differentiate, we're going to multiply the power and the coefficient first. At first, that will be 1 over 3 multiplied by 1, and the value is still 1 all over 3 x. Then we have 1 over 3 here. We take away 1 from it, from the power, plus 5x to the power of minus 4. We also take away 1. Oh, sorry, there's a mistake there. Minus 4 times 5 should give us minus 20. Sorry for that. So we're going to multiply the power and the coefficient, and that will be minus 20. Then we proceed by taking away 1 from the power. So you have to be conscious of all these things. So let's move on. That will be 1 over 3 x. If you take away 1 over 3, if you take away 1 from 1 over 3, that will give us minus 2 all over 3. We can check that by saying 1 over 3 minus 1 over 1. The LCM is 3. So 3 in 3, 1. 1 multiplied by 1 is 1. Minus 1 in 3, 3. 3 multiplied by 1 is 3. And that will give us 1 minus 3 minus 2 all over 3. So but that's something we can do even offhand. So let's move on. Minus 20x minus 4 minus 1 will give us minus 5, and that is our final answer.